Hey family, I kinda knew this was gonna happen. I'm having so much fun sharing. I knew this was gonna happen. So, let's talk about something so interesting. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about warning. This is gonna be triggering. And maybe it's not if you get what I mean, but if you don't, it's gonna trigger the fuck out of you. So let's talk about this. Have you noticed, seriously, that spiritual people who call themselves spiritual, are the ones who judge the most? She said it. I said it. And I'm gonna keep saying it. Seriously, have you fucking noticed that the people who call themselves spiritual are the ones who judge the fucking most? Judging, so judgy. Towards themselves and towards everything and everyone around them. And again, there's nothing wrong with it. I'm just sharing a perspective. But can we get real? Can we get real and see how the people who call themselves spirituals are the ones who judge the most? We judge everyone that is not spiritual. The vegans judging people who are not vegan. What the fuck, man? If we call ourselves spiritual, if we say we are the light workers, if we say we are the ones who are here to show the way or to help humanity or whatever the fucking story we believe about ourselves, how can it be that we are the ones who judge the most? Dude, I'm going to keep sharing these truths and it's going to trigger your fucking ass if you don't get what I mean. That fire. Woo! Jesus. How come the people who say they are spiritual are the ones who judge everyone else and themselves the most? We judge everything so much. Dude, we are so hard on ourselves. We are so hard on everyone else. So hard on the world. Why? If we truly are spiritual, or if we truly are awake or aware, how can we judge and be so hard on ourselves and on everyone else? We judge so much, dude. We judge the government. We judge behaviors. We judge music. We judge everything. Judge everything. And we keep separating things. The people who call themselves spiritual are the ones who separate things the most. This is light and this is darkness. Darkness is bad. Let's fight the darkness. Come on, babes. Oh, and again, everything is perfect and everything is a perspective and everything is just what it is and it's just happening. So there is like a point or a purpose for the light workers or the spiritual teachers to judge certain things. There is a purpose for that. But from a higher perspective, what the actual fuck? You calling yourself a vegan and then judging everyone that is not a vegan, what the fuck is that? What the fuck is meditating and being in your heart and being very sweet and and then judging people who are angry? You're judging your own anger and you are denying part of who you are. You are denying part of the energy that is just fucking flowing through you or through someone else. And you're just judging. And if everything is the same thing, if everything is love, if everything is energy, if everything is God, how can you judge a part of it? Babes, how can you judge a part of it if it's all God? It's like we have all of these spiritual teachings, but if you connect them, most of them fall apart, most of them disintegrate. If you believe everything is God, why the fuck are you judging? And again, you judging is also part of God being God. So again, there's nothing wrong with you judging, you know. There's nothing wrong with anything. Even your judgment, there's nothing wrong with it. It's just happening. It's just being. If you believe everything is God, if you believe everything is energy, everything is the universe, everything is love, whatever how you want to perceive it, how can you judge any part of it? Even like that we have the need to separate and call some things darkness and some things light. What the fuck is that, dude? Everything is light. Everything is darkness. What the fuck do we mean? Keep fighting the darkness, fighting the darkness. You're just fighting God. It's just God fighting itself. And again, there's nothing wrong with it. It's just a perspective. It's just God, source energy, experimenting, judging itself, you know. Ugh, babes, it's time. It's time. Come on. I'm gonna keep sharing these things. And again, all that I'm sharing is just a perspective. Don't take anything I say as truth. Don't take what anyone says as truth. We have studied so many things in school. This is how history was. This is how the human body works. We are in a fucking planet flowing in fucking space. And we believe it all. We believe it. Yes, my body is this and blah, blah, blah and blah, blah, blah. Because we read it. Because someone said it. Because blah, blah, blah. What the fuck? If you had never studied or learned anything, what the fuck would you know? What a beautiful, amazing, deep question. If you had not learned anything, what would you know? If there was no language, I love it so much. If there was no language, what would you know? How would we communicate and express and move around if there was no language? What do you know beyond what you have been told, studied, or learned? What do you know beyond that? Can we know anything? What is knowing? From one perspective, we can never know anything, ever. We can only think that we know and think that we don't know. From another perspective, you already fucking know everything. If you are fucking God, fucking source, fucking the universe, then you fucking already know all of it. You're just having this experience as this body, as this being, and it's just an experience. Why are we judging? Why are the spiritual people the ones that judge the most, babes? Come on. But what is most important about this perspective that I'm sharing is also that there is nothing wrong with judging. Because there is nothing wrong with anything. It's just a perspective. And like, a part of me and a part of us is like, but killing someone is bad. Like, wouldn't you say that killing someone is bad? Wouldn't you say that doing something nice for someone is better than doing something bad for someone? And from one perspective, of course, dude, of fucking course. But from another perspective, that's just my own interpretation of what is good and what is bad and what is better and what is worse. And what I think is better or worse might be different than what you think is better or worse. And we see this like playing out in governments and in blah, blah, blah. One thinks this is better, another thinks that's better. And again, because this will be the focus of all my sharings. There's nothing wrong with anything. It's just a perspective. It's just an experience. guys, I feel complete again. I'm having all of these delicious, I don't know, energy flowing that I want to share and translate from my own perspective. Which, from one perspective, I am a translator of energy. From another perspective, what the fuck does that mean? I am a translator of energy. What the fuck does that mean? I'm not translating anything, I'm just interpreting it. No one knows more than anyone else. There's no such thing as people being enlightened and people not being enlightened. Have you also noticed that sometimes people who call themselves and see themselves as spiritual are the ones that are most unhappy? And the ones who are not spiritual, are like oblivious to spirituality, are the ones sometimes that are the happiest. Do you also see how sometimes what we call being spiritual is just thinking so fucking much about everything and judging so much everything? Instead of just being, instead of just doing. Oh, I cannot do that because that's not spiritual. Oh, I cannot feel that because that's not spiritual. Oh, that song is not spiritual. Oh, that is not spiritual. Like, oh my god, I'm always blocking my own energy. The energy wants to flow through me because it's universal energy and it wants to move through our bodies. And I'm like, oh no, but I'm spiritual and I should be very professional. I'm not ever gonna be professional sharing my fucking videos. I'm gonna be fucking raw and fucking transparent. Dude. And again, there is nothing wrong with whatever, containing your energy or directing your energy or whatever the fuck. I also do that. There's nothing wrong with it. There's nothing wrong with anything. But if I'm like, oh, I want to shake my ass. Oh, but I cannot shake my ass because that's not spiritual. Fuck. What do you mean it's not fucking spiritual? Everything is spirit. There is no such thing as spiritual or not spiritual, people. What the fuck? What the actual fuck? Seriously, what the actual fuck? So much confusion. And at the same time, and again, I will keep bringing all my messages through the same filter. All the messages I will share throughout all my life will have the same filter, which is everything I share is a perspective. Is just a perspective. So don't take my word for it. I am just sharing what I'm seeing in the moment. But how beautiful and fun it is to recognize how much we block universal energy inside of us because, oh, it's not spiritual. Eating meat is not spiritual. Doing that is not spiritual. Feeling anger is not spiritual. Shaking my ass is not spiritual. Is not spiritual. What the fuck, man? What the fuck? Who the fuck told us that? And how the fuck do we believe it, dude? How the fuck do we believe it? If everything is spirit, if everything is energy, if everything is God, then how can something not be spiritual? What the actual fuck? My guides, and that is just a perspective, my guides are just like laughing and and like telling me that you see why you had to be like alone and very introspective for so many years. It's because you were gathering all of this information, like I was sharing before. I like eat all of these spiritual teachings and then I make a soup inside my body with all of them mixed, and I'm like, but this one and this one don't go, so how can I make them all go or not? Like, what happens when I integrate all of them inside me, inside my own perspective? And what happens when I give them out again or I share them? And my guides are like laughing right now, like, you see why you needed to you needed to go through all of that, so now you can share as free as you are right now. So now I can share as free as I feel right now, and I don't feel that I need to, my hair needs to be very pretty and I need to talk very peacefully because I'm so spiritual, and I need to blah blah blah. What the fuck? No. And again, yes, there's nothing wrong with it. It's just for me, I'm out of it. I'm out of the stories. And again, I'm not ever out of the stories because all my perspectives are also stories. Yes, but from one perspective, and again, I've been there. I've played and believed and lived in all of these different perspectives, and sometimes I still do, you know. There's nothing wrong with it. There's nothing wrong with me coming to share a video and be very centered and calm and professional. But it's just the same as me being, you know. So I'm not going to contain it. I'm not going to, and sometimes I will. That's the thing. Sometimes I will. Sometimes I will. So from one perspective, if my body wants to move, I'm not going to fucking sit down and fucking meditate. My body wants to move. And when I do want to meditate, I feel it and I do it. But yes, sometimes I feel and I go meditate. It's just, all is just a perspective, all is just an experience. There's nothing wrong with any of it. God, source, love, energy is not judging anything you're doing. And from one perspective, it is, because it is you and you are judging yourself and you are judging the world. So from one perspective, yes, God is judging. But from another perspective, God is not judging because it is allowing judgment. God is not judging judgment. Otherwise, judgment would not be, would not exist. We are so fucking beautiful, so fucking beyond words. Beyond words. Yes, I'm feeling complete again. But who knows if I will make another video in like 2 minutes or 5 minutes. I don't know. I'm just flowing. I'm just flowing and I'm just sharing. I've been for so long doing like very introspective work. And now I cannot contain but share it. And I'm having so much fun. So much fun just being, just sharing. And again, I've said this before. I do not have any beliefs. I entertain beliefs and I am entertained by beliefs. But I don't own any beliefs and no belief owns me. They are just perspectives and experiences that I keep flowing with, you know? I will see you soon, or you will see me soon, or whatever the fuck. I fucking love you so fucking much, and I am having such an amazing time doing these videos. Bless you, my loves. Mwah.